Tony, of your team's 24 field goals, 20 were assisted. Reese had 11 of those assists. What your thoughts on the team's offensive execution tonight?
Well, especially early, it always helps when you're making some shots, but I thought we were crisp. Found different things, moved well without the ball, screened pretty well. We call them pocket passes. Just, Kihei got us off to a good start, and there was a nice synergy in terms of how they played, and were connected in that way, so that was good. And then they paired it with really good defense, with good ball pressure, and just were, responded the right way from not one of our better defensive performances, and so they responded. But yeah, when you look at Reese's stat line, yes, wow, and again, it was good. And then they went, slowed us up a little bit when they went with their 1-3-1 or 1-1-3, their matchup zone. But we got some good looks at that. But it was a better effort all around tonight.
It was Kieh's first double-digit scoring game since the Syracuse game. Did you want him taking more shots? Did you want him scoring the ball a little more?
Yeah, no, I think, again, that's important I think he felt a nice rhythm and going, but he was going with it, got good looks. But, yeah, no, that we need he needs to be assertive, find that sweet spot where he's distributing, taking good shots, but looking for good shots and aggressive. So that never changes, and I think that just helped us a little bit. Reese only, again, took 2 shots, but it was good to see Kihei doing that, and so good day on his birthday for sure.
David, and then Brett. Tony, Reese's 11 assists are the most by any ACC player this season. He leads the league in assist-to-turnover ratio and steals. Just overall, what do you assess as his progress from last season?
Yeah, well, he's a year and a half into his college career, and you're seeing that progression. And I think in the last, again, it seems like I say this after every game, so I got to keep adding a game. But the last 8 games or 9 games, he's just the trajectory is good. He's looking to be a little more assertive. He really only took 2 shots. He was probing, looking, and he has very good feel. And then, again, I thought Kihei and Reese set the tone defensively for us tonight. Even a couple of the shots they hit were so well contested. West hit a tough one, and Williams in that second half. But we've talked about Reese's anticipation in his hands and how he has that's a gift, to have that kind of innate ability to anticipate and tap balls. But they were good on the ball, and then he just had a good feel. He had command of the game. It seemed like he felt where guys were, and whether it's off the ball when he's coming using a ball screen or playing without it, he's continuing to improve. And again, only a year and a half in, which is good. So he'll just keep getting better and better.
Tony, it's been like 4 or 5 years since you've had a guy who had almost had a double-double without points. Reese is 7-11. You had a lot of guys tonight who looked pretty locked in. What did you think of the overall sort of response given what happened in Raleigh?
Yeah. How could I be, complaining? I mean, we talked about just, what it would take, and you always appreciate the opportunity, and you got a chance to respond after a hard game. And again, NC State played well. We didn't play the way we needed to be in that game. So tonight they touched on it and sustained it pretty good, how they have to play. There was some good Virginia basketball out there, I thought. Hard offense, tough defense, didn't give up easy looks, and for the most part we're connected. And again, Louisville was a little bit off their game, but I hope we had something to do with it. I sure do. And again, you just be ready every time out in the league with how jammed up it is.
Coach, Caden's had some up and down play in ACC play, and tonight he struggled for a little bit, but then finished with 11 points, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks, just 1 foul. What's sort of the message to him when he's struggling to sort of remind him to sort of keep his head up, that he's capable of playing like that?
I thought he had a good second half. That was a step. In the first half he did some good things, but he got a little out of sorts, and then he really responded in the second half. And again, I talked about Reese being in his year and a half. Really, Caden's in his half a year. He didn't hardly play, and you look at him, you can just see youth and, at times inexperience and some rawness, and then he's starting to piece together. Again, I think he's had a few more consistent games, and just as he continues to get stronger, get more experience and balance, that's important. So I liked how he responded from a first half to a better second half, and I thought he was, one of the bright spots in the NC State game too, the way he played. So you you just keep encouraging those guys and tell them to just lay it on the line every practice, every game, and give them some tough love when it's needed and encouragement at times, and you know, have them look at the big picture. So I think that's always important because, you know, sometimes different guys get discouraged and they got to just, we always talk about that, outlast their discouragement and be ready every time out. And he's going to get to play, you know, with our smaller rotation. So I think that helps you to, whether he's strong or not, you're going to get to, we need you out there. You know, you and Poppy sometimes together and you're splitting that spot. So that helps too.
Your other center, Poppy, has rebounded much better since the game in Chapel Hill. As painful as that evening was, is there some good that's come out of that for him?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, we need his physicality. I don't know if you noticed. I mean, he woke up yesterday and all his neck locked up, so he could hardly move, and you could see it. He was a little bit that way today, but he battled through it. But yeah, no, we need his ability to rebound in a crowd, to go up and do that, you know, defensively and offensively. And so that's really important. You know, Caden's getting better at that. You know, sometimes it's just mass and strength and balance, and that will come again with Caden. But I like it when guys can go up and they're up strong and they take people up and they snatch it. And Poppy's getting better, but that's a huge thing because as hard as we try to defend, and that's what hurt us in the first half, some of those second chance points, you got to be able to limit them to that first shot and then go after it and get it. And sometimes, you know, Poppy's done a good job with that the last few games because we certainly got it didn't look good. And when you said that at Carolina, thanks for bringing that up again, Jeff.
Tony, in a season that's been so up and down, how is it that Kihei has kind of added a steady presence along there?
Yeah, I thought today he did. And I mean, you know, he's got the most experience. He's the only one besides, you know, Reese has got 1 year of experience, and that's important. And again, when he's aggressive and assertive and getting after the ball and doing that, it's important. And again, withstanding when we dip a little bit, him having to, you know, keep encouraging. He's got, like I said, how does he want his, you know, he's had a great movie. He had a great early part of his movie of his career. So as I will share with him, I haven't said this, but you want it to, no matter what, you want it to end well. You want it to end well with how your approach is, how you lead, how you encourage, regardless of wins and losses. You don't want to have a great movie you watch and then the ending's bad, and you're like, oh, that wasn't a very good movie. And so I'm not going to let him do that, nor will he. He's got to keep leading and keep being as engaged and energetic and as fiery and competitive as he's been. And that's what I'm going to keep asking from him. And he's got by far the most experience, and the guys will follow him if he's willing to lead in that way.
Tony, I know you're obviously unhappy with the three-point defense against State and what they were able to do. These guys come out, hit one of their first 10, everything was contested. How much better was that? And then spinning forward, you're about to play a Notre Dame team that
special that
can
way.
shoot
Yep.
three.
Yeah, no, the urgency that I thought we had to get to shooters was better tonight. Credit to NC State, they had us, you know, I mean, they hit some tough shots too, but they had us pretty stretched out, so we were neither. You know what I mean? We weren't really protecting the paint and getting to a shooter. We were a little stretched, so then they're getting to the lane, and I thought tonight we were a little better with our consistency of jamming the lane and then getting to shooters with better ball pressure. Because if you don't have solid ball pressure, it doesn't work. And so that started it tonight, and we were quicker to them. Again, they missed some shots, but there's a lot of stats that usually don't lie about contested shots versus uncontested in the percentages.
Talk about your front court players down the stretch. You mentioned the guards, obviously, but it seemed like you got some good scoring when you needed it.
Sure did. Yeah, Jaden hit some shots. Caden had that nice stretch too. So, you know, when we go on those droughts, you know, that's obviously happened a lot this year. We, I think, went on one for a bit, and then we finally got something nice off what I think was just a ball screen, and someone made a nice play. And you just need that, whether it's a tough finish, an offensive rebound, but that's been a little bit consistent this year. So it's good to see them, whether it's Jaden or Caden, and again, that we need all of them to be ready and not be afraid to take a shot when it's there and be assertive and make the play on the glass or whatever is required.